Today, we're sharing the journey of a new tent setup for our Genie. Inspired by a recent interview with Louis and Adri, we'll add the link to that video in the comments below. Seeing their soft tent setup had us curious about a more modular approach. Although our current setup was ticking many boxes, we were looking for the following. An annex option, so a more modular setup depending on camp length and the conditions. An annex also to include a closed floor option so as to avoid critters and water when it's raining. A closed footprint to the tent that would suit the Genie platform. And then also the ability to mount the awning over the kitchen side. So this would mean we'd need a tent with a flat top and rails on top.
We knew our current tent was probably the lightest setup weight-wise available, but we're willing to add a bit more weight if we could tick some of the boxes mentioned, but the goal was still to be under 100 kilograms. We had a look around at options available from different manufacturers and kept coming back to the Metalian Genie soft top tent option. Other manufacturers could offer a hardtop tent, but not necessarily the ability to mount the awning, nor the ability to supply a fully enclosed annex option as an integrated solution.
In January, we had a call with Heinz from Metalian to discuss our requirements. And in that conversation, we learned that Heinz was actually very keen on developing a hard top clamshell tent option for the Genie. So the motions were set in place to start this development. In record time, they had managed to develop the tooling and work through different iterations to produce a hard shell component. And then the fabric division set to work developing the tent portions. Fast forward to the end of March, where we managed to travel down to the factory to meet the team and see firsthand how they developed their products. We were then able to fit the first prototype tent to our Genie and set about testing it. After testing, we were able to provide recommendations and feedback to Metalian so they could make improvements on the design.
We must also say, however, that we are not sponsored by Metalian, but have worked with them on this tent development, and so when the new design was ready, we were able to travel back to the factory and do a swap out of the updated version. It has been fascinating to witness a product's development and manufacturing process. Thanks, Heinz, for letting us be a part of this. The hard shell tent allowed us to lower the tent height, balancing the increased weight and improving weight distribution and center of gravity. We no longer will use our previous awning mounts, but can now attach the awning to the hardtop tent shell.
In the prototype, the tent featured a large veranda on the kitchen side, but we opted for a flysheet solution over the tent and will use our existing awning for the kitchen. Let's rather dive in and show you how the tent works and its various iterations.
This is our version 2 of the Metalian hardtop tent, and we'll take you through the different variations and features of our new tent. We'll take you through the measurements, and at the end of the video we'll explain what the weights are. When the tent is closed, the length is 1450 millimeters and the width is 1205 millimeters. The height is approximately 330 millimeters. The construction of the tent, of the actual shell, is aluminium with some nice stainless steel handles, insulation inside and in the floor, and it comes with rails. And what we're going to do is we're going to fit our awning onto this and also our recovery tracks. As with all Metalian products, they do really good stainless steel hardware. The hinges are nice and tough as well.
So to open up the tent, it's really easy. There are two throw-over catches that you can release. They're also handy because you can actually lock the tent while you're traveling. Nice stainless handle and simple push up. And from there's an elastic retaining strap that just gets pulled out of the way. Pretty standard in most rooftop tents.
The next step is to release the ladder, and you unclip it. The ladder is a telescopic aluminium ladder, nice and light. This is the first iteration of the tent itself with a little awning. The tent has an umbilical with some Anderson plugs, also called Brad Harrison plugs. So you can just plug this in and then plug it into your, well, we've got a Hella connector.
On this tent, Metalian is actually testing out a different canvas option, and you can see here it's quite a nice feel to it. It's also got a really nice drape. So the whole positive side of this fabric is it's a finer yarn, which gives a stronger weave to the fabric. It's also more color fast and supposedly more waterproof, but we still need to test that. So this can be a fabric option in the future. On the tent, the doors and the windows have this very good quality mosquito netting to it. Also, Metalian uses genuine YKK zips. You can actually see the quality of these zips are very, very good. They also, wherever they use Velcro, they use the genuine Velcro brand. And all the doors and windows are actually Velcroed into place. So if you do have an issue with your netting, you maybe burn it or damage it in some way, it's very easy to get a replacement from Metalian, and it just connects back onto your tent. So you don't have to have the whole tent restitched. It's just a panel replacement. So under the mosquito netting here, there is then a solid panel behind, which fully zips up as well, again with YKK zips. So it's quite nice at night. You can, if it's very hot, have this folded up and then have your mosquito netting closed, and you are protected but still getting a nice cool breeze through. And then the awning at the top here can drop down completely and zip down as well, as just an extra layer of protection on the outside. As you can see, the opening actually creates a very nice wide opening to the tent. It gets a lot of airflow through and a lot of light in. The mattress in the tent is a really high quality multi-layered mattress. It has got a really nice quilting on top. It is made by Swissmate, and if you are in the industry, you'll know that they make really good quality products. It's a good thick mattress, very comfortable. We've slept on it a few nights, and we actually had a Swissmate mattress in our previous tent as well. Very good quality materials. You can't go wrong with these mattresses.
So from an accessory perspective, the backboard is covered with Velcro backed material. Also includes a lot of nice storage pockets that are see-through, so you can easily see what you've put into those pockets. From an electrical perspective, we've got a light up at the top, LED light, and then at the bottom we've got a USB-C PD charger and USB-A standard charge port as well, quick charge.
Also at the end here, you'll notice that they've got a really nice skirt, and we found that first of all we don't get breezes coming up while we're sleeping. Also a very nice soft place to put phones or any of your equipment, and then it also actually helps with the pillows, so the pillows actually don't wander away too far while you're sleeping. Size wise inside of the tent, you can see we've put 2 full pillows down there, so you can see how they are laying. Basic width wise, coming across the width of the mattress is about 1280 in width. For the length of the mattress, so going on just the mattress length, it works out to about 1950. The full length of the tent base from the edge of the skirt all the way through to the back here is about 2250. Height wise in the tent here, you'll see I've got ample headroom, and I'm quite tall, but the height wise here we're looking about 1050 in the center of the tent, which is quite a nice size. From a structural point of view, the base of the tent is aluminium with rigid foam and then aluminium on top of that. So it's like a sandwich of aluminium with a rigid foam in the middle, which provides good insulation from the base up. Then the lid of the tent is an aluminium outer skin, again with a rigid foam, and then the rigid foam on the inside is coated in a carpet, and the whole idea with that is actually to save weight, and that also provides a good sense of insulation from the lid side of the tent.
So now what we'll do is we'll show you how we install the fly sheet. So we've just seen the first setup. This is the second setup, and you would... I'm busy feeding in the skirt. The skirt is going to allow us to zip the fly sheet onto it and seal it with the Velcro. Okay, so I'm just closing off the Velcro. The fly sheet, as you can see, also has this silver reflective coating on, just to reflect some of the heat as well. So the tent has these guy ropes built in. So once you've got the fly sheet up, what you would do is just Velcro down the sides, and you can clearly see you've got a piece of Velcro over here and then the other Velcro underneath. So that you would simply Velcro down, and the same on the other side. You add the spring poles. With the longer one at the back and the shorter one in front. This is the second iteration with the fly sheet included. Next we'll install the annex section. We've got a gusset that zips off, and the gusset slides into there.
Okay, so this is the skirt that Metalian uses, which is actually quite clever. It's got magnets built into it, so it actually sticks really nicely to the trailer and helps close it off. So we'll install that part now. Another nice feature about this annex is it actually has a fully zipped in floor, so we'll put that in next and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all zipped up.
So this is our final iteration of the tent with the annex added and this little awning as well. Come and have a look inside.
So with the annex room on, you've got the sleeping quarters up there, and then you can see that it's quite nicely closed in here. There's the sealed in floor. Very nice. You get a door on the left and the right, so you could choose which side you want to have opening or have the outer cover opening, leaving a nice breeze coming through. And then at the end here is a nice big window which also opens up and velcros up as well. From a size point of view, the floor of the annex is 1.9 in length, just over 1.9 in length, and it's about 1.4 in width, to give you an idea. We can also stand up fully in the annex. So the annex here is just on 2 meters tall in the center. And then just to point out that this utility door, for us it's our utility door. We can still get access to that quite easily and access our water systems and our extra storage here. If you are using this as a clothing storage area, you would actually be able to leave this open with the annex on and you'd still be able to access your clothing, just depending on how your Genie's been set up. So all the way around the tent, you'll notice that Metalian has provided these handy little pockets with guide ropes in. So you never know what camping conditions you're going to end up in weather-wise. So it's always good to know you've got extra lashing points where you can actually fasten your tent down. Under the skirt of the tent over here, all the way around, you actually find there are additional peg points here with an elastic loop, which is also great for fixing the tent down on a more permanent basis, again depending on your wind conditions or weather conditions. So that's a nice addition to have. There's also a Velcro onto the base of the floor, so you can actually fit that quite nice and tight and snug depending on your ground conditions. There's extra length here, so you can adjust for your ground conditions, which is also well thought out. So something else that's handy underneath the tent is they've actually added a loop on either side at the edge of the tent here, and that's really handy if you happen to be camping without the annex on in an area where the wind might come up in the evenings. And we've had that happen to us in the Kalahari, where our previous tent actually closed on us while we were on a game drive because it wasn't lashed down at these points, and we learned from that. So that's a really handy item to have. So you might be wondering what we're going to be doing on this side of the Genie, because this is our kitchen side. And in the first version of the tent that Metalian did, they had a large awning integrated into the tent. But for us, what we're going to be doing is actually mounting our awning that we already have, our 2-meter awning on here, which we will pull out. We'll show this in a next video when we go camping. That gives us another option to have an awning room underneath. So that'll just give us an extra enclosed space if we so need it. So that's the future plans for the side for the kitchen.
These are the weights as we recorded them with our crane scale. If you would like more information on the Metalian tent, please contact them. We will leave a link in the description below. If you have any questions, please comment. And if you would like to see how we camp with this tent, like and subscribe to the channel. It's all for free.